Social Security benefits are a very important part of everyone's retirement income planning strategy. It's important for all of us to make sure we're taking Social Security at the right time. Now, for some people, Social Security will be their full retirement income. Others, it's just a part. But regardless, it's very important to make sure that you do maximize your Social Security. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing that we have to do in making this judgment is we have to know what our full retirement age is. And so let me just draw up here on a real chart very quickly for you so everyone knows your full retirement age. Anyone born between the years of 1943 and 1954 have a full retirement age of 66. And then after 1954, Social Security began to add 2 months to our full retirement ages. So if someone is born in 1955, they have a full retirement age of 66 and 2 months. If they're born in 1956, it's 66 and 4 months. If 1957, they had 6 months. 1958, we had 8 months. 1959, we had 10 months. And then anyone born in 1960 on, they would have a full retirement age of 67. And so that's the first thing we have to do and know exactly when our full retirement age is going to be. So let me give you a quick example of someone who is born in January the 3rd, 1958. And so we know that their full retirement age will be 66 plus 8 months. And so we know that January the 3rd of 2024, they will be 66. The 8 months would be counted this way: February, March, April, May, June, July, August. The 8th month is September. So in September the 1st of 2024, they will have reached their full retirement age. And so as we talk about maximizing Social Security, we have to know what our full retirement age is. So you can look at the chart and calculate that for you. So once we've determined our full retirement age, exactly when that is going to be, we know that we can take our Social Security benefits at that time, whatever that amount will be. Now, we also know that we can take early. So what happens if someone takes early? What they will do is they will take less, and this less that they're going to take is a permanent reduction. So if I take 1 year prior to my full retirement age, I will lose 6% of my full retirement age amount. If I take 2 years early, I lose 12. Here I lose 18%, and here I'm going to lose approximately 25%. So whenever I take early, I take less, and that reduction is permanent. Now, there are times when people will not take it for retirement age, they're going to take later. And so what that means is they're going to wait, and they're actually going to grow their Social Security account. And so what happens is we can actually grow our account every year, and that amount that we're going to grow it is an 8% increase. So now we're going to add to that benefit. So 8% if I wait 1 year, 16% if I wait 2 years, 24% if I wait 3 years, and I grow it a full 32% if I wait to age 70. Okay, so for retirement age, they will establish that amount. If I take early, I take less. If I take later, I'm going to take more benefits. So that's the first decision we have to make is, do I want to take early, get less, or get more and delay taking my retirement benefits? And again, there is no right or wrong answer. It really boils down to your own cash flow. It boils down to your life expectancy. You know, have your mom and dad, have they lived to be in their 80s or 90s, or does everyone in your family tend to die in their 70s? So our mortality really plays into this decision as well. So let me give you a quick example of what this scenario looks like based upon full retirement age, taking early or late. Hey everyone, just real quick. We're trying hard to get this content to more people just like you who are looking for honest and helpful Medicare answers. So if this video has been helpful, you can help us out by hitting the like button and subscribing. Now, you know, you could try signing up for Medicare alone. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want free Medicare help from a Medicare expert, check out the links in the description. We literally help thousands of people every month make Medicare decisions. All right, let's get back to the video. Now, everybody's Social Security amount is certainly going to vary because what happens is as we pay into Social Security, some people are going to max out, others are not going to, but we're paying into Social Security, and what Social Security does is they take our highest 35 years of earnings and they inflate those to the year in which we're going to start taking our benefits, and they divide that by those 35 years, and then they put that into a formulary to determine how much our Social Security will be. Again, that's going to vary. Right now, the average is about $1,750 a month. Okay, now let me just give you a quick example of someone who maximized their Social Security. And so what we're going to do is this. We're going to look at what will happen if we take it 62, if we maxed out throughout our 35 years. What would happen if we go at 66 at full retirement age? If it was the example I talked about earlier, it would have been someone that was born in 1958, so they went to 66 and 8 months, what that amount would be, or if they waited to age 70 and they went to the highest amount and they grew that through the delayed retirement credits. All right, so let's suppose at 62, they're eligible for $2,400 in monthly benefit. At 66 and 8 months, let's say they're eligible for $3,200. And again, I'm just giving you kind of a rough idea on this. Or if they wait to age 70, they're eligible for $4,200 in Social Security because they delayed and they grew that by $1,000 a month. So you can see the difference here in these amounts. So someone takes at 62 versus here, what has happened? Well, they've had this cash flow. They've had $2,400 a month for those 48 months. And so that ended up being $115,200 in cash flow that they had. All right. And so they had that money in the bank. They got to spend that money. But if they decide to delay that, why have they done so? Because you can see they tried to grow that additional $800. Now, what happened? Well, they gave up $115,200 to get that $800 additional amount. And so what we're looking for is a break-even point. How long do we have to live if I wait to full retirement age because I gave up this money to get that extra $800? And so our break-even, folks, our break-even in this example is going to be 12 years. So if I live to be 78 and 8 months on, then I will have known that was a good decision. In other words, it paid off because I got that extra $800 now for the rest of my life. But I'm going to have to live, again, 12 years to reach their break-even point. So if someone says, well, you know, most people in my family, they die in their early 70s, probably would be a good idea to take early. Others say, no, you know, my family lives to be in their 80s or maybe even beyond that. Then it may make sense to do this, especially if you have other investments to pull from. My view is if you need this money and that's all you're going to live on, obviously, you ought to take it. But if you have other investments or that are getting a lower return, then it may make sense to do this, all right? But there's always a break-even point. In fact, people ask me all the time, Marvin, what do you think about this? Well, I can tell exactly when to take if you can tell me when you're going to die. We don't know that, and so we have to, again, put some thought into this to make sure that we're going to be comfortable with the break-even point if we decide to delay. Now let's suppose someone continues to delay beyond full retirement age and they're letting this account grow. These are called delayed retirement credits, and now that account is growing 8% every single year. And so now we've grown it to, in my example, $4,200. So what's happened? We've grown it now, we've grown that account an additional $1,000 a month. But what happened? Well, we didn't have this cash flow for that period of time. And so again, I did the math in advance, and that is $153,600 in cash flow that I could have had I taken it full retirement age, but I laid that aside so I could grow my account now $1,000. And so when I put the $1,000 into $153,600, now that break even is going to be 13 years before I break even. And so what do I have to do? Break even just tells me if I have 13 years, I take it 70, I have to live to at least 83 years and beyond that to know that delaying to age 70 was a good decision. And some people who have longevity in their family, mom and dad are living to be 95 or 100 years old, well, then that strategy may make sense. But you just got to be comfortable giving up the cash flow for that period of time to grow that an additional amount. Now, I will tell you, me personally, my wife is younger than me. She does not hardly have any Social Security of her own. And so what I have chosen to do, as long as I can make the sufficient income, is I am going to wait to age 70. And the reason for that, again, my wife is younger. She'll probably live a long time. And so even if I do not live to be that break-even point, 83 years or beyond, she would get my benefit. So if I take at age 70, regardless of when I die, she would be entitled to that $4,200 because the survivor benefit is always the greatest amount that's available in that household. Now, spousal is only 50% of what's available at full retirement age. But when it comes to widow benefit or widower benefit, it's always the greatest amount that is available, and they would get 100% of that amount. And so even if I don't live to be 83 or beyond, if my wife gets that amount and she lives for a long time, then she would have benefited benefited by me not taking it for retirement age, but rather letting that account grow through delayed retirement credits. And so these are the things that you have to be thinking and considering as you make this very important decision to maximize your Social Security benefits.